Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. Hopefully you can all hear us. Hopefully you can all see us. Hopefully we're coming through nice and clear. That's all we want, isn't it, really? Do you like there?
Yeah.
Just a bit of last minute, could you have thought of maybe a better time to have the Jaffa cake?
I'm just finishing it.
Okay. You sure you just weren't starting it?
No.
Okay.
I've had a bite out of it and that's a stop.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted a bit of clarity on the situation. Pull it down slightly there. It's better. But you can argue that you can see the Jaffa cakes are at full effect. Well, here we go. Simon Rouse on our patron says, "Hi all, Gary Waters, howdy, Paul Cattle says, afternoon, 2 days on the bounce, shush, don't tell my boss." Simon Rouse with the first question, loud and clear, says, "Do you think we will keep the same team as the weekend just gone? I hope so."
Hope so. Obviously, Yerry Mina's not trained today. That knee injury, so hopefully he's going to be fit for the weekend. But if everybody's fit, then without a shadow of a doubt. Duncan Jaffa cake. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would play exactly the same team. Max Redfern says, "Hi on YouTube, hello." Joel Murphy says, "Up the Everton." Tom Walsh says, "Good morrow, chaps." Paul Lightly said, "Mina injured, maybe Keane and Holgate together." Well, it'll have to be, won't it? Although Glenn Holman said if Mina is out, play Lewis Gibson.
No, it's not going to happen.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
Paul Lightly also says, "Bernard surely must play against Brighton, and how good was Richarlison up front last week?"
Bernard will play. Of course he will.
Yeah, there you go.
Russell Crowe says,
Russell Crowe?
I just wanted to see if you got
It's like the Leeds documentary.
Russell Smith says, "Can't listen live, but can Ped do his Welsh accent again?" I don't know. Can I do my Welsh accent? I don't know. You be the judge of it. I don't know whether from the valleys or from Swansea or Cardiff. You'll have to tell me.
You go a little bit Rod Gilbert. A little bit.
I mean, the fact that he's Welsh is a great compliment.
It is.
It's like saying if I did me Jimmy Carragher impression, what's wrong that we wore those t-shirts on that day, and it's only taken us 10 years to admit we were wrong on that day. See, that went a little bit scouse.
Yeah. I think it was 8 years. No. Let's move on.
Ruse says, "Good day, up again for another live. Honest to God, Australia." Oh, that's Ruse. This is a question I need to ask you, but I also need to ask everyone. I'm putting you all on alert.
Be alert. The world.
Can anyone get me an orange twirl?
I know what's going on.
Can someone get me an orange twirl? Someone last night DM'd me and said, and I'm not going to say where he said he can get them from, but he reckons he can get me 6 on Friday. Right? Now, I'm not getting my hopes up because he went, last time I went, they had like so many, and I'll go back, and I'm not telling anybody because there'll be a run on them.
Why be creative?
But he was like, "I can get you 6 and I'll bring you the Spurs game." And I was like, get me them if you can. But I'm not holding me hopes. So I heard like Australia, they have full-time orange twirls.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
So if there's anywhere out there that has like...
Getting all Man United.
If anyone out there has, they do have full-time orange twirls and they want to send them over to us, I'd much appreciate that. Someone messaged me before and said they were going to Florida, and I gave him an order for something because he... It was actually Matt. Matt Berry said, he said, "Do you want the detonator?"
Oh yeah.
I said, "Well, Baz has already got me one, and they're just knocking around the house.
Yeah,
There's no point for more." And I was like, "No, but there's this limited edition Starbucks Christmas cup. Is there any chance you can get me one?" So if anyone knows where there's any orange twirls, get involved. Mark says, how did you pronounce it? Googly Mo.
It wasn't Googly Mo.
Googly Mo says, "Hi fellas, piggybacking on Simon R above, in addition to God willing, he have the sense to trot out the same lineup, Mina pending re-injury. How do you think they'll fare against a team who won't play as open?" But I do think Brighton will play as open.
Changed. They've definitely changed this season.
But we'll still sit back more and look to counter. Do you think it can be as effective? Why not? I think they will be open. Maybe not West Ham stupid open, but I do think they'll be more open. And they're open and also good at set pieces. So, be interesting one.
I think it can work against teams who sit in the low block anyway, though. Because I think it's the only way to play against teams who sit in the low block. I think you've got to have runners moving them out of position, and that's exactly what Everton had at the weekend. We had runners. We've been too static in the past, and that is why we've been rubbish against teams who play low blocks. But Brighton are a lot more offensive this season, so hopefully there'll be gaps for Everton to exploit. Cal Blundell says, all right, Yerry Mina is the best player in our club right now. Wouldn't disagree. Still think we should push for Zaha, brings a creative edge to the side, which is what we need. Paul Lightly says, Tom Davis to start again, but as soon as Delph is match fit, he's going to play Delph. Well, you know what, Paul? I hope that Delph has to earn his way back into the team. Because let's be honest, I like Fabian Delph and think he's a good player, but has he done enough in the games he's played that you'd go, he's a guaranteed starter, we can't play without him? Well, the answer's no, because he played the previous 4 games and we lost every one of them. So I like Delph, I really do, and I think he can be key for us, but at the moment, it's a place on the bench at best for him.
David Hamilton said, I'm in the middle of a Josh Rogan, Ed Snowden vids. Are they the same or are they 2 different vids you're watching? Hurry up. Hey, hurry up, Dave. What's
to hurry up with, Dave?
What Rogan video you watching? That Simon Rouse has just said, you sound like you're a bit by the sea. Can anyone else hear the whooshing? That's the Max. The Max fans are so loud.
Yeah.
But we have to have them in front of us because this one's doing the live and that one's doing the comments. It's the fans on them. The fans are so loud.
So just use it as like soothing background.
I mean, it's
the sea lapping up.
It complements my voice. Yeah. So it's not
like yin and yang.
It's not anything technical. It's not a dodgy line. It's just the fan. It's the microphones picking up the fan.
Glenn Holman said, "Would we take a point now?"
See, I hate that when people say that because you don't know how we're going to play, do you? But I don't think we should ever take a point at somewhere like Brighton.
Okay, well, Cal Blundell said no, a win against Brighton or nothing else. Well, that's what I think we need to win. But Glyn's then said, would you sack him if he lost to Brighton?
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
You know what I'd say there, Glyn? Right. It's difficult to sit here and go, yeah, I'd sack him if he lost to Brighton. Because he might play the same team. And Everton might play really well at the weekend, and we might lose by the odd goal, or a penalty or whatever. And then that's a different argument then, because you can lose games of football, it's the nature of it. But if he changed the team and went defensive again, and we lost playing that slow football, then that, I think, puts a massive question mark over him then. Because he'll have undone something he's worked hard for last weekend and got people back on side a bit to undo it by changing it with Schneidlin back in and Delph and Sigurdsson, and we get beat, then you would have to ask a serious question of whether he's capable or not.
I think Watford is the game, isn't it, really? No, I know, I'm saying Watford's the game where like it's always been like the focus, isn't it? Because it's the cup game. Joe Max says, if you could pick one Premier League season to do an all or nothing season of series about, which one would you pick? Everton. What would be the most sort of riveting or controversial or
now? No, I want to know exactly what's going on now.
I'd be interested in Martinez's first season. I'd also be interested in the season we finished 4th.
That'd be a good
just to see how we moved away from a team that had been tipped from relegation. What were we doing behind the scenes? What were we? What was happening? That'd be interesting as well. So,
Paul Lightly's playing Zumba gets frustrated at Chelsea.
Zumba.
I mean, it's a great dance, for getting fit and stuff.
Fit,
But
Kevin says, chance to build momentum against Brighton, but knowing next week is the cup against struggling Watford, do you think we'll see much squad rotation between Saturday and Tuesday?
Watford's a big game
for both manager. Big games,
massive game. In fact, they both are, and for that basis, I would play my strongest team in both games. To be honest, I really would. Obviously, it depends on who's fit and red zones and all that, but you try to make the least changes as possible now, because if we were to beat Watford, we're in the quarter-finals. One change I may make is I might start Moise Keane at home to Watford to get him some game time, because I think you've got to introduce him into games. He's never going to get up to any kind of speed or the way we play by giving 15, 20 minutes at the end of the game. It's not going to happen. And yet we need someone who's got that ability that he's got, who can score goals as well, to get integrated into the team. So but it's a tough one.
Simon Rouse says you can buy 39 bars for £99 on Amazon. I've seen some of the Amazon deals and eBay. Kane says orange chocolate is not very good and overrated. But, I just want to try it. He also says, what does the club need to do to change the mentality of away games? I know the answer will probably be just you need to win games, but that is just proving difficult at the moment. Kane, what I would say is, for me, is that when you play away, you've got to think about the fundamentals of how you can, what happens when you play away. And that means the home team generally has more of the ball. So that means we've got to be better on the counter-attack. And to be better on the counter-attack, it means we need more players with pace. So if you've got Snidlands and Sigurdsson in the world playing away, you're going to play naturally slower. And that allows, like when we play Burnley or when we play Crystal Palace, the opposition to get loads of men behind the ball and just shut up shop. And we've been struggling front of goal. So you've got to be able to counter-attack with pace and almost bring teams onto you to then hit that. Well, it's what they started off doing. It's the whole gegenpressing kind of malarkey, isn't it? You've got to set your team up with pace to hit them on the counter-attack. And I think that's what we've got to do from now on. I think there's also an option to do that at home. Not dominate the ball as much. It's pointless. We've got to become better at counter-attacking teams. Or counter their counter.
Sorry, the counter-press. James Richards says, think win or lose, still don't want him to be our manager. Move on in the summer, look for a manager to move us on. And the board to stop making snap decisions on managers that don't suit the club. Who do you want, James? Simple question.
I just want to win games of footy. And if we win games of footy and that keeps Marco Silva in a job, then I'm all right with that. Because I just want to win games of football, especially at a time now when we're in the League Cup and you're jostling for your position. No, it's crackling, is it?
I haven't done anything with it. Still.
Is it really bad?
It's not really bad.
You do know we're live, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Give us live updates. That's fine.
Just being told Baz's mic might be a little bit crackly. Apologise for that if it is a little bit crackly. Simon Rouse says £24 for 48 bars on Hancocks, but currently out of stock. Well, what are you telling us for if they're out of stock?
Signing.
And I thought you lived in Germany.
Just full of bad news.
Owen Park says, hi guys.
Hello, Owen.
Adam Galloway says, have you seen the plans for the Man City around the stadium? And if so, do you think Farhad will do anything similar? No, I haven't. What are the plans? What are the plans for Man City's ground? What? You don't have to send me the picture. Just tell us descriptively.
To make it bigger.
Rue says you could buy orange twirls at our biggest supermarket chain, but I've searched them on their website and it says temporary unavailable. Because basically what they've done is they've done the counter of what we did to you and they've shipped them to us. But I said, he said an article says at this stage the planned relaunch of orange twirl is in the UK only. We have our fingers and toes crossed that they will return to the stores before Christmas. Mark says, Mark Guglielmo.
That Guglielmo.
He said, what?
Like St. Elmo's fire. Guglielmo.
He said, WTF is an orange swirl. But it's an orange twirl for a start. It's a
twirl, a chocolate bar.
We have a chocolate bar called a twirl. Which
Cadbury's chocolate
nice
bar.
Chocolate, but it's... What? Oh, you don't have to tell us.
Fine.
Yeah.
Really, what are you doing?
Check the wire is crossed there.
I mean,
Billy, stop doing your job well.
I'm only live.
Stop
you get up and fix it.
Stop being...
Is that any better? Hang on, is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Man of many words.
Stop being so good at your job. He says, anyway, how much weight do you put on advanced metrics like XG or XA or key? What's XA? Is that
expected goals, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was XG.
Oh no, XG, expected.
So is that expected?
Assist.
Or
attack, I don't know.
Or key chances created, especially based on those who should have been Villa and should have beaten Villa and Sheffield, United, and the worst drawn against Bournemouth. That's 7 points, would have its fifth based on goal difference. I put absolutely zero stock in XG because that's not how football works. That is simply not how football works. Football is the game we all love because it can't be based on stats. It isn't based on stats. Stats can tell you how you've done, or maybe how you should be doing, and that's great, but it doesn't tell you how you are doing. And at the end of the day, if you should be scoring X amount of goals, then that's because your centre forward isn't.
Yeah, but it mightn't be your centre
No,
forward.
yeah, I'm talking about the basics of it. That's saying, well, of course you should be scoring these goals, but then that's like saying, basic terms is, I look at your team, I look at my team and say, my team should beat your team every single time. That's not football. That's not how it works. So it's a great tool for some people. I don't hold much stock in it.
I think what's good for is seeing how your team's doing. You know, you can walk away from a game and go, we got beat 1-0, we're crap, we're the worst team ever, blah, blah, blah. And then when you look back at stuff like that and you see, all over the season, you can look and go, we're terrible, we don't do this and we don't do that. And yet, when you look at the stats and you look at the XG and you look at the chances created, you go, you know what, actually, we're creating enough chances, we're just not taking them. And then, I understand why clubs use them, because that is that moment then when you go, right, we need to buy a striker. If the money ball thing is...
For a club, I understand. They'll say, for stats for a club are good because they can break down everything and go, that's fine, that's letting us down, that's okay. But as a fan, I don't...
So we can do it?
No, I've got eyes.
Don't ruin my tactics.
But I've got eyes, though.
Don't ruin my tactics.
Well, you've got to be on Patreon anyway to see how good it is.
Well, there's loads on Patreon, so
but there's people who aren't on Patreon.
They want to miss the tactics show on
Patreon. For me, I look at it and just think, well, I've got two eyes. And I know we need to score more goals. I was saying this 12 months ago, that we need to score more goals. It was our big problem, still is our big problem. But that comes from chances. We make more chances, we will score more goals. Simple as that. We haven't been making enough chances, so
you have to look at the whole thing. Paul Lightley says we have to buy Sidderby. Royal Blue 1878 says he'd like to see Bernard play as our number 10. His technical ability is very useful. Joel Murphy's asking prediction for Brighton on the weekend. I don't know, is the answer. Hernandez W04 says, would you want Walcott to get the start again or switch Keane or someone else into that role? When are you going to finish Red Dead 2? And thank you for all your amazing content. We've both finished Red Dead 2. It's amazing. Would we want Walcott?
Have you finished the after story?
I finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just haven't done any online stuff.
No, I haven't, but you've...
When he builds the farm.
Have you gone down to Mexico and done a bit of searching and stuff?
Not really, no. I will do.
Should do. There's loads of bandits down there.
Oh, I'll go and have a go. Yeah, you know. I'd want Walcott to start again because I'm a great believer in if you've played well, you deserve to keep your shirt. So yes, it's up to other players to dislodge him then. If he comes in this weekend and he's rubbish, take him off at half time, replace him. But give the lad an opportunity to get a rhythm going, to get a bit of form going. He played last week, was integral in the win, had an assist, hit the bar. He had 7 shots in the game, which tells you how much in the action he was. He was very unlucky though. But like that, so that's what I would say. Nico Wooten says, "Hey up lads, hope you're well. You heard about Mina not training today because the knee injury. Yes, let's hope he's fit. You're right." Paul Lightley and Glenn Holman are just having a conversation between themselves, which is fine.
To be fair, right, I'm not worried about Mina not training. But I don't think if he took a kick on his knee, it's not like he's going to be unfit come Saturday. They're letting it settle, aren't they? They're letting it rest. If he doesn't train all week and then Saturday they go, how's your knee feeling? He might go, feels fine. I haven't done anything all week. I'd have no problems with that. Just that if there's any, obviously if there is stiffness and stuff in it, but I'm not worried that he's not training.
Paul Lightley says, I think Big Dunk should stay, but we obviously need a new striker coach. Well, I think we just need to let Duncan coach the strikers.
Maybe
that might be.
Maybe Duncan's not coaching them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we brought a coach in the summer who was a centre forward. Maybe he's coaching them.
Well, Drew Winger didn't score a lot of goals, so I think I'd just give it back to Dunk, to be honest. David Embleton said, Big Dunk getting the sack. What? No. Why would he? Hazrat Meerkat says, all right, Baz and Ped, is Andy there? No, he's just gone. Let's move down here a bit.
Are we good enough?
I don't know. Steve says our centre-backs are too slow to cover zones, so it has to be man-to-man on set pieces. I don't think they're too slow to cover on zones at all, because we did it last season, but it's fine being man-to-man on set pieces if that helps us. I believe the players have had a conversation with the manager, and that's the way it is. And if that's the way we go now and it stops us conceding goals, brilliant. Big Nozza says, hi boys, away at RAF Valley in Anglesey this week. Been by there many times. Thought we played well Saturday, keeping the same team is a must for the trip to Brighton. Let's get some consistency.
I like just sitting.
Spot on.
I like just sitting and watching the planes come in at Valley. Little car park and just sit.
Yeah.
Or go on the beach.
I just go there, but the noise of them is
or go on the
incredible.
beach and just watch all the helicopters and planes land.
Cam at the Mighty Blue says, all right fellas, all right Cam. I feel like Neston, all right Dave, how you doing? Dave Coates. AJ, no, who you going to vote for in an election? Not Tories. Get the likes up, please. 228 off you. Get that over 100.
Sorry, go again. Oh, okay.
Never vote Tory.
Just making sure.
So get them likes up. Thank you very much.
Simon Rouse says $9.99 for a 5-pack on eBay. Owen Park says, I know it's a bit grim, but I'd like to see behind the scenes of the 17-18 season. I want answers. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Kane says, where did you get the Everton chili top from, Ped? Is there any way I can get more stuff like that, boss t-shirt back? Someone senses it on, someone on Twitter has got, I'll see if I can find them. And they sent me this, and they sent Baz a Maradona one. And he'll do anything, basically. This fella will do any design you want. I'll see if I can find it. He just sent me it, and it is a nice t-shirt.
Yeah,
like, Everton chili.
Tommy Fleming says, Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds, you have to pick one for a wonderful meal and evening. Who would it be? I'd go Tom Selleck.
I mean, considering he's the only one alive.
Yeah, but
and that might work better out for you.
I'd just still go Tom Selleck anyway. Magnum boss, that moustache, and he looked like John.
Different characters, aren't he? You know what I mean? Different people. Selleck's a bit calmer, obviously. What do you know? He was the original Indiana Jones.
Tom Selleck,
and he turned it down because he was obliged to do Magnum.
Oh, interesting. And Harrison,
and Harrison Ford. So he was the original one. Imagine that though, sliding doors moment.
That is, isn't it?
Because really, Tom Selleck isn't really sort of. He was like a household name when we were younger. Magnum PI and stuff.
Course,
but Phil did Three Men and a Baby, Three Men and a Little Lady. But hasn't kicked on, has he? Hasn't kicked on. No. He's obviously in Blue Bloods now. Good TV show, but not really in films. Whereas Harrison Ford, it can, write his own checks, doesn't he? Literally.
Video and stuff says, do you think the players had a big part to play in the change to more direct tactics last year and last weekend, as they did in the Martinez era? Well, good, in my opinion, good managers look at everything and listen to everything. And if they've all sat down and the players have said, we're more comfortable doing this, and Marco has gone with it, then that to me is a sign of a good manager rather than one that just goes, no, we do this or that. Dave, I've read we might lose Gibson for now. You've read incorrectly, Dave. We may lose Gibson, but it won't be for nothing. He's only 19, therefore they'd have to pay big money to get him. Well, relatively big money, development fee and all that. Jay Couple said Lewis Gibson on the bench next weekend. Why?
Well, he would be if Nino's out, yeah. He would be if Nino's out.
Michael Chan says off to Barca next week against Real Valladolid, hoping to catch some Sandro in action. Maybe you'll be his lucky charm. Wayne Ellis says, evening lads, 2 nights on the trot. I feel privileged. Dave says your Welsh impression was very good, to be honest.
It was very good. I obviously spend a lot of time in the old valleys there. I go to Anglesey quite often. I like going up Snowdon. Betsy Court is one of my favourite places.
Nobody talks like that.
They do.
No, they don't. 1,000 candles. That's what you sound like. A church with this light of 1,000 candles.
I like going to Beaumaris. It's got a beautiful castle, a lovely front, and it's got a great lifeboat shop.
Let's move on. Dan Ebbs says, evening gents, it's the only man who loves Marco more than Baz. I'm well chuffed with the West Ham game. I think he's as talented as much as he's handsome. Kind of like the pair of you. Stick with him. Thanks, Dan. Dave says Schneidlin out of the side made a massive difference too. Correct. Marlo Stanfield says, Baz, where do we need to strengthen in a January transfer window? Personally, at the spine of it, but definitely a centre-back. Ideally, I'd like a centre midfield. We tried to get the core right, and I think he'd have helped. But if you had to pick two, it'd be a centre back and possibly a centre forward of like an experienced kind. If Tosin is going to go out the door, which again he's been
There's a rumour today
with
that
Besiktas today,
saving him from relegation.
On loan.
Lee Middleton says, afternoon lads, just realised I'm not going to get to see the game on Saturday, going away for the weekend, and I'm assuming it's unlikely I'll find anywhere in Manchester. You're going away to Manchester for the weekend? That will show Brighton versus Everton 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Go to. Depends, I suppose, if you're in a sports bar, maybe somewhere.
Some of them have all of them.
Might have all of them.
In fact, there's only 3 o'clock games at the weekend.
Saying that,
on Saturday.
You've got to find somewhere that has dodgy steam though as well. Rue says, yesterday I asked, do you think if it goes sour with Marco Silva and they need to fire him, they will do so without a new manager ready to go, or do you think they'll just keep him around until they find one century, then give him the flick? You said they'll have a replacement before they do so, but what if it gets too bad and they don't have a replacement ready? I think they got burnt last time and they left it. Not saying Unsworth wasn't capable, but they needed someone to come in a lot quicker, and I don't think they'd ever fall for that again. I think they'd have to have someone ready, even if it was someone temporary for the rest of the season.
Maybe money.
He's not going here.
I think they'll have already had conversations as a by the way, because that's what clubs do. So we'll see.
Very quick. Derek Hooton says, hi lads, Morrison's in Southport, 4 bars of Cadbury's orange twirl, offer, price £1 while stocks last. Come to Southport, get your twirl, and I'll treat you to the best Italian deli for lunch in UK at Deli Valeri, Lord Street.
Derek.
We're getting orange twirls and Italians, although we have to go to Tory Southport. So.
Abigail Barfoot says, why is it that the media are always saying Sidibe wants to leave? Why are they so against us? It's an Italian news outlet, isn't it? And he's been linked with AC Milan, and quite clearly they want him to go to AC Milan. He's not playing at Everton, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see. He's played, the last 2 league games has been his Premier League minutes. Come on at Burnley. Played a full game at the weekend, was excellent.
Where else is he going to get a big flag? You know what I mean? Where is he going to get a big flag?
Just get him in. Paul S says, lads, unenforced, same team. Unless unenforced, same team, right? Yes, Paul, got to be. P. Merv says, Mackey's did an orange milkshake once. It was feckin' boss, and then he stopped it.
Well, he will. They're tempting you in. Philip says, if Marco reverts back to type, then we know all hope is lost. Hope to get on your show soon, lads. Little things getting in the way. But hopefully can add more anti-Keane and Coleman side to the show. Appreciate the hard work. Keep it up.
Paul S says, wouldn't you love to see Richarlison and Keane up front together? Yes, we've seen a little bit of it at the weekend, didn't we? If Tom Walsh says, if Pele and Escape to Victory scored that bicycle kick today, would it get the Puskás award?
Yeah, but it was also fiction, and the Nazi stood up and clapped it. I'm just saying he did. The Nazi clap, Max van Snijden stood up and clapped it. It was a great overhead kick.
Lewis EFC says Davis and Gomez played so well, way better than Schneiderlin and Delph. I hate Schneiderlin.
Okay.
Fair enough, Lewis.
Mark Mo says, how many top flight strikers would want to come here knowing that one of the top 2 reasons will be to help another striker develop? Take a look at Josef Poulsen from RB Leipzig. Quintessential striker.
No, he's good, Poulsen, but we wouldn't get him in January for a start. I mean, you're talking 50 million. I was thinking someone along the lines of Giroud, to be honest, someone like that with that experience. But it's a tough one in January because obviously if Moyes Keane is our long-term hope to be that striker, then you don't want someone to...
No, but you still need competition. And if Tosin leaves... Simon Rouse says, I see today that Dean reckons Silva is one of the best coaches he's worked with. Fingers crossed that he turns out to be correct. He also says that I sound like the young gay in the village.
You do? Out of thingy, yeah.
Adam Galloway says, you think Keane will adopt to the Premier League person? I think it will. He will, but may take a little longer than the average player. Well, I think the average player... Naby Keita came on Saturday for Sunday for Liverpool. Yeah. He was supposed to be the next big thing. He cost £50 million. And he's only now... Well, he come off the bench.
He's been here 18 months now.
He came off the bench. He was supposed to be the next big thing.
He was going to run Europe for them. he was full on Angela Merkel, apparently, when they got him. And he's been here, what,
I like to
17 months?
I like to see him more as like Queen Bee.
Well,
Or
maybe.
Beyonce.
Maybe. Snail Peep says, as Marco ditched the zonal marking. Well, we'll know this weekend. It was one game, and they only had 2 corners.
Horses for courses.
So we'll have to see.
Horses for...
JT Gaming 20 says he really liked Richarlison up front. Lewis EFC says, every game Everton have lost, Schneiderlin has played in. He is crap.
Adam Galloway says, Lookman is starting for Red Bull in the Champions League tonight.
Lookman is he? Wow. Well, fair play to him. He's been given 37 minutes, so he's obviously turning it up for Leipzig.
Good luck. Good luck to him.
I honestly...
listen to the podcast, which Billy is currently editing over there.
He's
getting the podcast out for audio
really
and video if you're on Patreon. And we discuss like a little bit about Admiral Lookman. We discuss the Premier League and the prospects of young players playing. And one of the things we talk about is players like Lookman, who have had very little coaching, but have done well because of their street players. Why hasn't he made it? Why has Sancho made it? Why has Sterling made it? Maybe it's because he needs a little bit of coaching, but also needs to be the rawness. Needs to find it in the middle. So check out the podcast when it's out. When's it out, Bill?
Soon.
Yeah, good man, soon. Yeah,
Tony Riley.
Covering all the bases.
Get them likes up. 100 likes are said. We're at 61. 250 of you watching. Paul. You are full Cuco Martino.
If you don't want to like, go over to Patreon and subscribe to that instead. You don't have to like over there.
Yeah, that's
but you have to pay.
But if you're on YouTube,
yeah,
you're watching it.
I mean, that's you're getting
this
this for free. All we want is a like. If you don't want it for free and don't want to like, go over to Patreon and you get loads of videos.
And you get the tactics show.
And you get all kinds of shows.
Tony Riley.
We get this every day.
You do every day.
Except for Fridays because we have that off.
Tony Riley says Orange Trail on Amazon. Graham Finn says it only hisses when you are talking. Sophie Gallagher, that's kind of like key, isn't it, really? Sophie Gallagher says we have to make sure Saturday was not a one-off, and that has to be the blueprint. Now, also, Mashiri was seen shout Marco after last.
Hey, Marco!
Deep down.
Marco!
I don't know that one. Sean Wooding, is it our Sean? Let me know. How many points do you think we will get in the next 5, realistically? 15.
37.
No, about... It's tough, isn't it? Because you don't know how we're going to... Spurs are rubbish, but you could turn up a Goodison. I don't know. It's tough, mate. I'd be looking for at least 9, to be honest.
I looked at my phone about 3 hours ago regarding Reds having a laugh at our expense again about the stadium. Is that still ongoing, by the way? It all came from someone in the Radio City Tower saying something about the stadium, which was utter nonsense, utter bollocks again. That Reds have took... Number one, they said it was Alan Stubbs, when Alan Stubbs is from Kirby, and this fella's from Southport and he's got a bit of a Wool accent. So how they confuse those two people, I don't know. But if that's still ongoing, if so, just laugh and point at them.
There you go. Martin Edwards is watching on his phone because the wife's watching 4 in a bed. Jay Couple says Davis tries to get forward and is hungry to do so, always making forward passes. Should be a starter from now on. Well, he should be. All he has to do is keep his level up, and then it's difficult then for the manager to leave him out. The Royal Blue 1878 says, I remember Ped giving his opinion on his favourite washing powder. So what's yours, Baz? Ariel.
What was mine?
Baz. Purple.
I haven't got a clue what washing machine.
I'm just thinking, yeah, I know what ours is now. I'm thinking, do you not use talking? And we get lost. Stop it. Maybe. Sean Wooding says, what's the best goal you've seen from an opposition side? That Goodison Drogba over Howard is up there. No. The best away goal you've seen?
Wasn't it? It was, as soon as you mentioned it was over Howard, I just... Lampard scored a whopper, didn't he? I know. I'd say what was an amazing goal. Laurent Robert
for
Newcastle. It was a beautiful goal. I mean, to be honest, there's quite a lot.
There's been loads, Sean, hasn't there? There's been loads. You can go back forever, really, and go. You know, I can go back to. Remember Dalglish scored a screamer for Liverpool after 19 seconds, and I was right behind it in the street end. And It was, you know what, he hit it, right?
We would lose or win.
No, he hit it, and it went quiet, the ground, it was shocking,
Oh.
and you just heard, it was raining,
Yeah.
and you heard, the ball hitting the net, and then the roar.
Don't you
from the
hate, you know, when you're playing games, right? When we play games and we might have, this opposition have scored, and it might be because they haven't brought any fans or whatever, but it's quiet, and you somehow feel like the goal won't be given because the crowd goes completely quiet, like they know something,
Yeah,
like
tell me it's a foul,
like or something, or there's like little things that put me on edge. Like if you ever like heard girls scream at the match, and you're like, wait, you know, like it just puts you on edge.
Daniel Solfbet says, easy to slag off Silva. When and how will Brands take responsibility? I expect Silva to get sacked before Brands. Responsibility for what, Daniel?
This is sort of the problem with doing live stuff. It's like you can't talk
wait for you.
back.
So wait for Daniel to come back with why he thinks Brands deserves criticism. Max Rev, if it's for not signing a centre back in the summer, yeah, he deserves criticism for that. Max Redfern says who should be signed in January, a centre back, and I honestly, I don't know. The kid that Nunes is at Bilbao, we've been linked with quite a bit. Maybe him.
What about John Stone being told to leave City, hasn't he?
By who?
Mum.
His mum.
He looks terrible though, he always looks dead terrible.
DKS Hulk, white chocolate. No, sorry, which chocolate do you like, dark, white or milk?
All?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really like dark chocolate.
I just say yes. Mark says, did either of you lads watch City Atalanta Champions League match last night? Pep was quoted as saying Phil Foden was the most talented player he's ever coached. Messi from 2008-2012. Pep is a funny guy sometimes. I did watch bits of it. I had the goal show on, which is just the best thing to watch. He will say that though only because you big up your own players. Martinez used to say that Ross Barkley was the best player in the world. Yeah. He said he'd have him above anyone. He's just giving the lad confidence. So we will say that. Of course, dead easy answer to say Messi, isn't it? So sometimes you've got to take Messi out the equation.
Yeah. Sophie Gallagher says, Baz, you were right about Pellegrini, by the way. Thanks, Soph.
Didn't you used to go on that you want him so much?
Me?
No, Sophie.
Well, she knows, because now she's seen the light, she knows that I was right.
Philip said, have a feeling, manager aside, that Bernard, Iwobi, Richarlison could become cult heroes. I love the fact that we've won one game.
It's just because we played well.
All work, exceptionally hard, and our quality footballers.
Yeah, good though.
I know, but cult heroes. We won one game.
Paul S says, random topic, but Arteta is considered an Everton legend, right?
He's not by you.
Don't you think him walking into Moyes' office demanding a transfer on deadline day is a bad way?
Who?
Yes.
Who regards him as a legend?
And that, I've always held that against him.
But who regards him as a legend? No one regards him as a legend.
Michael Chan says our fans need cleaning on the Max. Probably do.
These are not my Max, by the way. That's it.
That one's noisier than
this
one.
That's the red. This is the red men's. We ain't got Mac money. We ain't got Mac money, baby. Philip also says, all work extremely hard because they didn't get to finish 3 points. I just hope that they don't go to waste here and can push on. Derek Houghton says, I know I've banged on about Dzeko last year, but now surely is exactly what we need, and Keane plays very similar. Dzeko could be the answer. At Roma, age 33, scores goals and proven Premiership player. I like Dzeko. I think he would have been The problem is, though, the club have got, and I agree with you, Deg, the club have got this policy, basically, of buying young so that you can get profit for them. I don't always agree with it because I think you need players for the here and now. And I think the club might start to realise that at times. Is that we have got like the second youngest team in the Premier League. That's forgotten at times. And I think we have to, now and again, just spend the money on a player. Simon Rouse says, I always listen on Patreon, but still nip over to YouTube and like. What a guy.
Simon's the man. But 5 likes short of 100.
He's got a chainsaw. That's
and there's 275 watching. I mean, it's bad form if you're not liking it, really. Is.
Unless you're coming over to Patreon.
Kieran Morgan says, what about 4-4-2? We've got wingers that go inside and fullbacks that bomb on. Big man Calvert-Lewin to knock down to Keane around him. And 2 seedy ends. I think the players fit that system. James Scale says, bad audio, lads. Going to have to turn it off.
Is it bad audio? No?
No.
We've got a person.
Sorry, James. It must be your end. Royal Blue 1878 says, where's the Pivs there? I think he's gone do some scouting work. Richard Dean says, why do some Evertonians give Tom Davies so much stick? He's so young and has shown a lot. Needs a run on the side. I don't know.
The bigger question has got to be, why do suddenly appear?
every time you are near. Stuart Lowe says, is Silva still beyond the tipping point after the last result? He's got to keep proving it at the moment, hasn't he? Got to keep winning games. Paul Lightly says, Zuma starts this evening as Silva moved on, as he hinted. January.
I think
we'll have to move on.
I think you've got him. I think Zuma might be available at the end of the season, but you've got to
forget him for
you've
this
got to
season,
look past that, haven't you?
Get him in the summer.
Chelsea player he is.
He is. That team that shows that 4-2-3-1 can work with the right personnel. Are you guys happy with the formation or still 4-3-3? Well, you know what, you big doss at 28. On Saturday, what's his name?
I know.
On Saturday, it was a variation of a 4-2-3-1, and at times it was a 4-3-3, and it was a proper 4-3-3.
Flexible.
And that was why. And you're right. The 4-2-3-1 can work if the personnel is right. But I think what we did really well at the weekend was we flitted between the two formations.
Big flitter.
So, but if he played like that with that personnel, then I don't care what formation he tried to pass it off as.
Gary Ward says, stop whispering. Philip said, what are your thoughts on Sai Curry?
Why?
I prefer Curry and Rice.
Yeah.
He also says the Cult Heroes thing isn't necessarily about the West Ham game. It's the fact that even when we lose, they always give their all. You never get the impression that they slack off. They may play badly, but always try the hardest, which even in modern game goes a long way. No, I appreciate that. I just mean that for anyone, for me, becomes like a cult hero. They've got to play 3, 4, 5 years unless they're Dennis Strachelesi or Landon Donovan. And Mark says Keane was very successful at 13 matches at Juve, 6 goals, because some guy called Ronaldo was always being marked to death, which opened up more space. How can we create a situation here with our current squad? Well, we have to. Again, we spoke about this on the podcast. It's all about getting players around them and not isolating the centre forward. And I think if we play 4-3-3 or a version of 4-3-3, he'll have men around him. He can play off the right or he can play centre, and then he will get that space. But while he's marked by 3 players and he's and the nearest place 25 yards away, doesn't matter who plays up front for us. We could have Ronaldo. It wouldn't work.
Max Redfern says Baz and Ped only cost 100 million, and we think they are brilliant. Baz and Ped. He's singing the Richarlison song. Okay. 100 million rupee we probably cost. I mean, I don't even know what that is. Probably.
Do you know what though? Do you know what we do cost? £3 a month on Patreon. That's all we cost.
We do.
£1.50 each. That's all we cost. That's our value. I mean, as I say, get over there. £3 a month.
Billy says it's worth it.
This every day. Billy just says it with his eyes. Billy's like the dog. He's got sadness in his eyes. Maybe, I don't know what Kay Bailey would make of Billy.
Yeah, keep Billy away from
I think Kay Bailey would walk in and go, he's got sadness in his eyes. Yeah, that's what she'd say.
Nathan Hamlin says Davies and Gomez was so much more positive. I love the passing into space and looking up the pitch. Real Tour says, evening gents, favourite film to watch at Halloween?
Baby. I'm going to see The Shining. I'm going to see The Shining at Walton's Picture House on Halloween. But I don't like horror films. But I like The Shining. The Shining's boss. Favourite film to watch? I don't really.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, here he is, Disney boy. Yeah. Have you been to Disney at Halloween?
No.
Oh, it's boss. I was in Florida for one Halloween, not the exact day. But it's boss, like Mickey's spooky thing, but also Orlando when you do the horror nights. It was horrible. You have all this mist,
terrifying,
and you have these fellas literally crawling on the floor, and you couldn't see them because of the mist. And then they just pop up, and it is. I mean, I know they do them now. We've got Farmageddon, but this is where it started, and fellas run around with chainsaws. Oh, it's horrible. But then you go over to Disney. Oh, but they did this thing where they smashed this fella's head. It was horrible. And they do all themes of different films and stuff. Yeah. But then we went over to Mickey, and it's like a tickle or two thing. Yeah. You just get sweets everywhere. It was boss. And then we went to Paris for 1 year, and they were all the baddies sing "It's Good to Be Bad," but they're all singing in French. So it was lost.
That wasn't great. Yeah. What's for tea tonight? Your big dosser 28 says. What do you think you'll have for tea tonight?
Chili.
Interesting.
I made Hunter's chicken last night.
Hunter's chicken.
Not being funny.
Lovely.
Not being funny. I reckon I'd get a Michelin star just for my Hunter's chicken. I prepared it from scratch.
Hunter's chicken is lovely.
Jack of potato and veg.
Hunter's chicken.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Lads, is the away Richarlison shirt behind from DH Gate? The
That's
20-odd
DH
Brazilian
gate, yeah.
one.
That's a DH gate. That.
Get
We've
on
got
it, Wayne.
We've got loads of DH gates over there. We've
Get
got
on it.
Ronaldo Brazil from 98, 2002. The Sigurdsson one is a DH gate. I'm probably going to get the new Columbia Mina one as well. They've already got the new Columbia Way, the blue one. It's not even out yet. Not even out.
No, look,
Not even out.
Johnny Hodson says, nice to see Everton taking some advice, gents. Good to see the Marco interview. Hopefully he'll relax a bit.
Hopefully he'll come on Toffee TV soon as well.
God. Sabrerio numero uno says, who would you prefer of the rumoured strikers? Diaz, Dembele, Poulsen or Martinez? I'd want... It'd be a toss-up between Dembele and Poulsen. I think Dembele has got the ability to get us more goals.
No one I think we should.
But Poulsen is probably a...
I want Dembele for one simple reason. Because I've already got a song for him.
What is it?
Dembele, a Dembele, a
Dembele,
Dembele, a Dembele, a Dembele, a Dembele, a Dembele, a Dembele.
Oh, right. Yeah, we've done.
A Dembele, a Dembele. Don't think that works. I think that's tremendous. Well, I can do it in Welsh. A Dembele.
No, don't. I mean, Johnny Hodson's already said you sound like an extra on Fireman Sam.
Oh, Fireman Sam. I don't know any characters from Fireman Sam.
Sam.
Yeah, but who's the arsonist? There's that young lad who was an arsonist and just loves setting fires and stuff. That's the first thing I'd do. I'd just knock on his door and go, what's his name? Was it like Gwyneth or something?
Call him Glyn.
Hello, Glyn. I've heard you've been setting fire to the local school. Yes, I have, mister. Well, I'm going to have to lock you up, but you're in Boston, aren't I?
Billy's
cracked the smirk.
Billy's on the Welsh border.
I reckon I could do the translations on S4C.
Scorio.
No, like, because that's where some of the best...
Neville Southall.
Oh.
That's where you're there, you go.
What? I used to love Scorio back in the day. That's where you got all the European football.
Serie A was the...
Yeah. But I used to have, like, Super Ted, because Super Ted's obviously Welsh originally. When I say my magic word!
Dave Robertson says, what's this stuff about Bramley Moore? Now, Ian Ross, who used to be employed at Everton...
So he got sacked because he put an email out criticising loads of people, and it got leaked.
They've basically said, it won't happen, he hasn't got a clue.
I was on that list.
You probably were.
I was on that list.
G.
I've been on 2 lists. Him and Tyrrell.
Bernard makes our whole play faster. You are right, G. Carlin. Andy Lancaster said, up until now, I don't think Silva knew his best 11 playing 4-2-3-1 formation. Do you think now, due to injuries, he's found it by accident? Well, I've said this on the podcast today. Sometimes managers discover things by accident or because it's forced up on them and they go with it. So I hope he goes with it.
Sorry. Derek Houghton says, the audio was fine. Sorry, Ped, maybe I wasn't clear. I just thought about Dzeko for explaining for 2-year deal to help Keane come on. No, I agree. I really like Dzeko. I really like Giroud. I'd pay 60 million for Aubameyang if he came on the market. I think you've got to buy a player when he's at his peak, and even if there's no sell-on value, you've got to. Graham Ferguson says, one player you want us to sign in January, Baz.
One player?
Yeah.
Dembele.
Okay. Mark says you should raise the price. It's worth it for live at 5 alone. There you go.
Not our words.
I'm not going to raise. We're not going to raise the price though.
Not our words.
We just want more of you to get involved.
Yeah.
I spend more on Starbucks in any given day, let alone a mug. There you go. You spend more on coffee. Although these mugs are not any longer available. They are amazing. Gary Waters, the original version of Dracula. That's what he'll be watching.
Okay.
Oh, what about the Monster Squad? Oh, I love the Monster Squad. Philip said, would you rather Mina played alongside an out-and-out good defender like we had with Stones? No, I think he's...
I'd rather Mina played with...
And Jagielka or Distan, or would you want him alongside another player who was good on the ball like him? Like we never had with Alcaraz and Funes Mori, the partnership that frankly never was. I think Mina's an all-round defender. I think he's a good defender, and he's also good on the ball. I think we just need pace. I think
Zuma would have been... Zuma and Mina, if once Michael Keane drops his level, I think is a perfect partnership.
Bruce says, I genuinely think Ped woke up my entire neighbourhood with his Lion King singing. That's not the Lion King.
Now
Is
it's Win
In
My
the
Way.
jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Win my way.
A dimbly,
Tight
a
fit,
dimbly,
it is.
a
Tight fit
dimbly,
sang it.
A dimbly, a
Um,
dimbly. That's what she said.
Stuart Lowe says, do you remember the mouth-quenching drink called Quattro? Tashi _ Swiss EFC 1878 says, what other non-Premier League team do you guys have a soft spot for? Mine is Hertha Berlin, but Everton will always be my first love.
Norman Spofart said, Norman Price, absolute cartoon cop-out. He's the kid in Fireman Sam.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
No, man.
Callum,
Why have you been setting fires to the school again? Don't burn it down.
Callum Snell says, thoughts on AC Milan monitoring Moise Keane? It's nonsense. That's my thoughts.
But he might be monitoring him. The same way I might be monitoring Abigail Ratchford on Instagram. You know, it ain't going to come to nothing, is it? I'm just monitoring it, as well as a lot of
War
other
Nation
accounts.
says, why are we talking about Naby Keita? Thought Liverpool were irrelevant, guys.
No, hang on.
Hang on.
Sorry.
War Nation.
What?
I don't even know.
Why is there Naby Keita?
It was an example.
Who's War Nation? Why is your name War Nation?
It was an example of players needing time.
I know.
That's what it was.
Honest to God, they're so touchy, huh? You can't talk. Haven't you got a game side? Off and go and watch
Stuart
it.
said,
Honest to God. Gang of fucking touchy bastards.
he might have been a blue.
Look, it's not that easy. You can sign TP thing.
Yeah, see, 123 says, where's the Baz Wave gone?
What's this all about here, please?
Baz tell part-time Ped to put a shift in and stop pulling the sickie. Probably fuming because you refuse
I've
to
never
do the
pulled a
podcast.
sick in my life.
Refuse to do the podcast.
When I'm not on the show.
Refuse to do the podcast.
When I'm not on the show, like, when I wasn't on the show last week, a couple of shows, it's because Fresh's boy over there, he's a second year, but he got Fresh's flu, which will take what you want from that. Billy got Fresh's flu, and he messaged me on the Wednesday morning, and you can even tell it was like, even the way he'd written it was like, I can't come in today. Well, first of all, he asked for permission, and he doesn't work here. I mean, he just started turning up one day, and we just, like a cat does in someone's house, and we just thought, we'll let him stay. Came with Fresh's flu, so I had to do all the behind the scenes stuff, and that. So I'm always here. If I'm not on a show, I'm always in here. Norman, I'm always in here, but I'm doing the technical stuff behind the scenes.
Okay. Roderick Cassar says, hey guys, hope you're well. I just wanted to say Tom Davis was really good for West Ham, and after that yellow card showed maturity and good football intelligence. He did. War Nation says, will we be able to retain our best players if another mid-table finish occurs? Well, I don't know is the answer, but it's up to those players who are our best players to make sure that doesn't happen, really, isn't it? Alexander Hoffler says, hi lads, I was dreaming, or was I dreaming, or did I hear you were going to be doing some FIFA 20 content?
No, you were dreaming.
You might have been dreaming.
You were dreaming.
We're just
being funny. I'd rather do content about Katie Hopkins.
Stuart says, would you go back in for Zaha and Zuma if the prices were discounted?
Well, not going to be discounted. I think those players will still be in the mind of the manager, but at the end of the day, you can't hang around, and that's what we did in the summer. We hung around too long for Zuma, but for the fact that he hung around clearly means he likes him. So I think Zuma will become available because they've been told today to go after Aki, haven't they, by one of the scouts.
Go back.
I don't think Zuma's a player that.
No, he's not long. They don't see him as long term.
He'll get them through the season, and then if we still want him, which we might.
They've got Tomori as well, who's a younger version of Zuma, haven't they? So, Adam Thompson says, best away goal right in front of me, Shaqiri, half volley when he played for Stoke.
Never
the Shaqiri one, for me, he didn't even mean it. The one when Galloway let him run. If it was that one when it looped into the Gladys team.
It never happened.
No, but he didn't mean it. His body shape, his foot, didn't mean it. It was a cross.
Grant Ferguson says, nice to see Marco mixing with the fans last night. He needs to do more of it so we can connect with him. Yes. Mark says, if Mina's out, how worried should we be about Holgate playing, going 90 minutes alongside the statue? I don't know. I mean, listen, 20, 23 this week, didn't he?
Holgate 23 on Monday.
He played plenty of football. So you've just got to either sink or swim, haven't you? And that's what we can do. Derek Hulton says, Ajax versus Chelsea about to kick off. with 11 academy players in the starting lineups.
Ajax.
No, I think between the two.
Oh, sorry.
All full first team now. That's exactly what we should be happening, don't you think? We all took the mickey out of Chelsea with 42 players on loan. Now look at their squad, and of course Ajax have always done well. You're right, mate. I mean, it's been forced on Chelsea, but it also takes the pressure off them, and some of them are thriving now. And that's what happens sometimes. It doesn't always happen, but that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And Owen Park says, Ped's Dyche impression is better than his Welsh impression.
Okay. King Power 10.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with me. The Welsh impression.
I went a bit Tyson Fury there, didn't I?
I don't know what you meant.
I'm taking £9 million to go into the WWE and fight in Saudi Arabia.
That sounds like he was in the room. Let's be honest.
No, because you didn't. He's a bit more like.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's a bit like
King,
that.
no, he's not.
No, he's not like that at all. He came from Somerset. He don't live near Glastonbury.
King Power.
Billy's loving it.
King Power 10 says Arteta is the second best player for us in the past 20 years. He's not, though.
Who's the first?
Rooney.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
No,
After Rooney.
Okay, sorry.
So Wayne Rooney is Stephen Pienaar better than Mikel Arteta on every day of the week at every time, even at one leg. Steve the Steak says, hi boys, would not like Stones back. I agree. Great content as always. Big Nozza says Silva must not be sacked. Give the man a chance. I hate the way the YouTube one does this. Joe Hesketh, says, what's the latest on a new PES series? Will it be classic or will it be...
Well, we're still playing the current series. But it'll just be classic because I don't know.
Might be interesting to go.
I like classic because it's classic.
Maybe we need to run a concurrent one.
We barely do this one.
I know, but we get back into it. Stuart Lowe says, what experienced striker could come to us in January? Giroud, Zlatan. I don't know, but that's not really our job, is it?
Honestly, if Zlatan come,
I'm mad. Take him for 5 minutes. He's free, isn't he?
My voice has been done by Tyson Fury.
Dosbick says, Baz, you go to the gym regularly. You're as fit as a fiddle. I mean, a fiddle's fit. I've always wondered that. Alfie
What
Boyo.
gym do you go to?
Alfie Boyo wants dunk out. Why? That's
Why?
weird. That is weird.
Mark says, Zaha has, checks internet, 0 goals in 9 games. We should offer 30 million.
Okay. Well, he'll be cheaper than he was in the summer in January because
Less time on his contract.
less time in the contract. Saw Ozzy on BT Sport recently, and he was lauding the FC so much. Why did the FC treat him so badly with an SMS? Aren't we better than that? Well, yeah, but I don't know how that played out. Martinez was sacked. The decision was then taken by Koeman, I think, if I'm right.
But Koeman wasn't being appointed.
When Osman and Hibbert were told they weren't getting a new deal, was after the Norwich game, so it was when Everton knew Koeman was
But he
coming.
hadn't been appointed.
No, he hadn't been appointed, so that's why Koeman didn't tell him. But
It was actually despicable of the club to not tell him, Hibbert and Pienaar that they weren't staying and allowed them to have a farewell. That they allowed other people. It was absolutely despicable. It's not right.
Marlow Stanfield says, Baz, do you think we will go in for a box-to-box midfielder in January or next summer so you can play 4-3-3? Possibly, but I don't know, because I think he's hoping for Jean-Philippe Gbamin to do that, isn't he? But he did want the Core, and he did bid 39 million for the Core. So who knows? You might go back for him. Watford the bottom of the league, haven't won a game. Who knows?
Mark said, I'll tell you what, Mark's getting into this, isn't he? He's only been a patient for a couple of days. He's getting into it.
That's good.
He said, with due respect, Ajax's academy is world class and historically much better than Finch Farm, their training ground for the best teams in the world. That's what they trade on. Ajax, it goes round, doesn't it? The players come, they give them a chance, they play, they school them perfectly, and then those players come back at the end of the career, and the cycle begins again. Adam Galloway says, what would you class as a legend? I'm 29, so not seen us win anything properly apart from 95 when I was 5. And to me, Baines, Cahill, Jags, Coleman, Osman, Ferguson are legends to me. Do you have to win something to be classed as a legend? I think from the overarching thing, you do. I think you can have cult heroes, club heroes, whatever. But to be a legend, I think it should. legend is such a high praise that it should only be handed out to, and it wouldn't even be handed out to people who've won things. You wouldn't say everyone in the '95 team was a legend, or everyone who won the cup in '66 was a legend. Legends are reserved for people for the very, very best, like Dixie Dean, Alan Ball, the '85 team.
'85 team.
There's not that many. There ain't that many. There shouldn't be that many.
Daniel Eatwell said he had Hunter's chicken last night too. And
Yeah,
Johnny Hodson
but it
said,
wasn't made by me.
Johnny Hodson said, do you make the barbecue sauce from scratch?
I don't. That's the only thing I don't make from scratch. Because it has to be a certain dietary requirement.
Okay, Free Roll says Pulisic on loan. Well, he's just gone now. James Sub says, what would your thoughts be on using the same lineup against Brighton but dropping Walcott and having the Richarlison, Wide and Keane up front?
Yeah, but why would you do that though? Because Walcott will have had a good game, and the manager will have thought he had a good game. So I don't know why you would do that. I think the biggest person at risk on Saturday is Tom Davies, simply because the manager might look for just a little bit more defensive stability if he's got Delph back. I think, for me, anyway. I'm not saying that's what I do, but I think that's what the manager might look at. Ruse says, have you played Mystery Ball on FIFA 20? It's awesome. I don't even know what Mystery Ball is, and I haven't got FIFA 20.
Adam Funston's just signed up to Patreon. Persistence is the key. Yes, Adam!
Don't need the battery. I need the cable. No. I know, but this is the thing that's running the show.
Yeah.
That's
why
like...
that's up so much? Ridiculous. Ben789 says, if you couldn't support Everton, who would you support? Not Liverpool.
Do you know what? I'd have a football...
Free life?
No, I'd have a football allegiance free life. I think I'd just go to other...
Just enjoy games,
I'd just go to other places, watch games, get drunk and not get emotionally attacked.
That'd be awesome.
Mark says, I think for my pure class contribution, I should get an autographed Ped and Baz photo to hang in my Toffee shrine. Make it so. I mean, could we do like a virtual thing? Could I just go...
Adam Seymour says Pienaar's nowhere near as good as Arteta. Jesus Christ. All right, mate.
How old is he?
5.
No, I think
I don't know. Listen,
I think
it's all opinions.
Mikel
Arteta was a good footballer, but for some reason, Evertonians have rewritten that he was incredible for us when he wasn't.
I think Pienaar was better, but I have a lot of thoughts that people don't agree with.
But I'm talking about Mikel Arteta was brilliant. But Pienaar for me was
amazing. Well, what I would say is Pienaar deserved the contract that Arteta was brilliant. But Pienaar deserved the contract that Arteta got and he didn't, and that's why he left the club.
Johnny Hodson just said, just looked away from the screen. Did you guys have Tyson Fury on? There's no way he sounded like Tyson Fury.
You know, I did my best in the fight. I was out there.
That was
I was out there. I was in Saudi Arabia. They asked me to fight Baron von Strucken.
That was slight.
And to give me £9 million, and I forget about the human rights that happen in Saudi Arabia. I don't really matter. I took the money, and I'm looking forward to fighting whoever comes next. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, or Rocky Balboa. I don't mind. I'll take the money and I'll go home. Thanks. I've had a great day. I've got my tank card and I've got my bus fare, and I'm gonna.
Some of that was really good. Others was a bit weird.
I think people should just ask me to do an impression, and I guarantee I'll do it. And I'll do it. I mean, I'm not saying it'll sound like them.
Marlow Stanfield says, Baz, is there any truth?
Marlow Stanfield, weren't you in the wire?
Is there any truth about Shakhtar Donetsk's chief scout coming to Everton? Jose Boto?
Joe would know.
Joe would, yeah. I don't know, for the simple reason that it's being linked. Yeah. It's being linked.
I don't think it
strongly. And normally when that link continues, there's something in it. He's not coming. I think he's coming to work with brands, isn't he, if it happens? And there's a couple of good sources saying that it's happening. So, but I'll be honest, I don't know. Is the truth.
Ukrainians.
Mad one.
Foons Mori is a legend. Fair enough.
All right.
He is to barbecue people.
He's brilliant at barbecues. Paul Likely says Peter Reid's a legend. Yes, he is. Dosbig says, do you guys think we have a good chance to tie Lewis Gibson down to a long contract? I don't know. To be honest, the reality is his agent, I think, will want to move him on because he's not playing. Everton will want to keep him. Everton will offer him a contract, which then means that clubs will have to pay decent money to try and get him out.
This to me is a bigger thing for Everton Football Club. Everton have got to find a way of getting these kids games of football, and that for me, I personally think they should be looked to get a team abroad. I really do, in Belgium or somewhere. I don't know how that would work with the financial situation, but I think every club's at a risk now. Kids are seeing other kids go to Germany and places like that, and like, hang on, I can play here.
Do you think football just is becoming? Do you think the landscape changing slightly now? It's not all about money, because they get good money wherever they go now.
Good money anyway.
So therefore, it is changing, isn't it? In terms of players, and now kids are now going, I actually want to play.
Do you know what I think it is as well?
Which is good. It's good.
I think kids are more educated. I think they understand that they know they'll make the money, but they're only going to get 10 years playing.
Yeah.
And I think,
and they want to play as much
and
as
I
they
think,
can. And that's right, though. That's the right attitude, to be honest.
I think they get more intelligent in terms of what they know about the game, and they just want to play because they know a big move will come at some point.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Someone like Lewis Gibson might look at Matty Folds, or he might look at, maybe not Matty Folds, but someone like...
No, you're right.
Someone
who's just
Evans,
got stuck,
who's 21 or 20, and going, hang on, these are still here, and they're not doing anything. So it'll be interesting.
But I think that's where Everton should be looking to get a club abroad, buy into them, and start sending players over, because I just think that we're missing a massive tick, and we're going to start losing players that aren't ready right now, but will be ready. Could be potentially really top players, and they need games of football. We need to start getting it sorted a little bit early. We've got players in our under 23s.
That 45.
Exactly.
Adam Seymour says, I'm 25. I've watched both of them, and Arteta was easily better than Pino. Hang on. No, wait. Adam, fair enough. Football is all about opinions. I think Arteta was a great player for Everton. I think he got the knee injury and he wasn't quite the same. Pino, for me, was a better player. He was more pivotal to the way we played. But it's all opinions, isn't it? Fair enough. I'm not saying Arteta was crap, because he was far from crap. But for me, I thought Pino was better.
Rouge says, mystery ball mode keeps you guessing, as the ball is given a new numerical value every time it leaves the pitch. The next time you score, it could be worth anything from 1 to 3 goals. It will also give the player in possession massive boosts in areas such as shooting, dribbling, passing, blah, 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 which brings each of the other... That's fine. I just think FIFA's cack, so I don't really care. But you enjoy it, and I'm glad that you're still up. What time is it? What time is it in Australia?
Early.
And where's my orange 12?
It's late. Kaniki Sheik says, great results against West Ham, but I don't think Marco Silva is quite out the woods yet. Agreed. Got to continue it. David Embleton says, Arteta was a great player for us, but Peanut was head and shoulders above better. Only Sheedy is the best player I've seen.
Don't forget, Peanut wasn't a left midfielder as well. He basically never played in his proper position other than about 2 or 3 times. One of the best centre midfield partnerships was when him and Fellaini played centre midfield against Manchester City, and they destroyed them. They were amazing. The pair of them were amazing. Scored a box free kick. Fellaini did the pirouette.
Kyle at the bar with a great header as well. It's all opinions, isn't it? Jason Bad shout Pienaar better than Arteta. Pienaar was limited to the left side, but he wasn't though, was he? He was played there. He could have played centre mid. He played on the right. He could have played behind a striker. That's a bad shout, Jason. Not that you think Arteta was better. That's fine. That's up to you.
But we value those opinions, and we value them mostly on Patreon.
Stop it. Ryan, would you take Rojo in January? Nah, I think we could get better. I think we could get a more mobile, physically strong centre-back. Better than Rojo. I really do, honestly. Ian Lyons says, still the best £3 a month. Watching Zuma for Chelsea, and he's doing well at the moment. Still hope we get him back. Ben789 says, I'm 16, so never saw the 85 team. Obviously, hang on, you can do that in a minute. Where do you think they would rank in the terms of the best teams in the world today? It's difficult because obviously different eras, isn't it? But that 85 team, what I would say, Ben, Because that 85 team could mix it with anyone. They were a mix of everything. They could play football, they could be direct, they could scrap and battle if you wanted them to. They could run away with games or they could grind out wins. And also, that 85 team overturned the best team in Europe, which just happened to be Liverpool. They took over Liverpool, who were winning European Cups, who were fantastic, winning leagues every year. That 85 team came in and stopped Liverpool winning leagues. We won the league, we won the Cup Winners' Cup, we would have won the European Cup. They were just an incredible side, and Liverpool had a top side. So I think they do very, very well. But it's difficult just because of the eras and football's changed slightly. But they were an incredible side to watch. Where are we? David Collins, Rohu. Holly's Life wants you to do, or asks, can you do an Al Pacino accent?
I'll try my best.
Cause she got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up it.
There you go. Make your judgments.
What's the film?
I don't know.
Billy, what's the film?
Oh.
You two are shocking.
Okay.
Heat, 1995.
Oh, it's a classic film. Classic film. Free roll Europa League is needed to get young player games. It is. Joe Heskett says, I'm not saying this to suck up to you two, but Pinar's my favourite ever player. I'm 25, loved watching him and Baines, and now Bernard and Dean remind me of them. You do?
The Stuart want me to do a Kurt Cobain or Axl Rose impression? I can't
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
No, it's more like it's more like I can't do Kurt Cobain. I mean, I could do an impression, but it wouldn't be very nice.
I read the thing the other day that he was killed by the.
He probably was.
Influence. He's in one of the conspiracy things. So. You do what?
Take me down to a paradise.
Mine as well, better. Stephen Caldy, Brighton 1, Everton 3. I would love that. Love it. I would love it if we could go there and win. Big Nozza says name. Name.
Cocaine time, you get nothing.
Name.
Can you?
We've got 2 minutes left, and you're ruining it. Name 3 of our worst signings.
What films were they? What films?
Glenn Keely.
Name me 2 films Axl Rose were in. But you can't. But you can't.
Glenn Keely, Brett Angel, and Klaus Thompson are his. What are your 3 worst?
Deadpool and Terminator 2.
Brilliant. Okay, superb. It was a big nozzer. Glenn Keely was shocking. Yeah, it was absolutely shocking.
Brett Angel won a raffle.
Cuco Martina is in my worst 3 Everton plays that I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely horrific. Klaus Thompson was horrific, but then so was Peter Dane and people like that. We've had loads, to be honest. Adam Seymour says, not that I don't think Pinar was great, but Arteta at the link-up play. Okay, fair enough. But he did. That goal against Fiorentina was incredible by Arteta. Glenn Watson says, in the next 2 years, pick only one of the following. A League Cup win, a decent European Cup run, or England win the Euros. Well, England win the Euros, I'm not interested.
League Cup.
A League Cup win, yeah.
Ruse has said 4:15 here. Got a stag do tomorrow till Sunday.
Why are you up at 4:15?
And heading to the UK next week, so pulling a few all-nighters to pump out some work before I go. Sorry, I wasn't sure where that was going. Agree, FIFA is not very good, but the house rules mode they've added has made it more enjoyable. No, I like those little like things and like the indoor 14K stuff. I'm just not buying FIFA.
Yeah, that indoor.
If EA Sports want to send me a copy, then I'm fine to take it.
Frankie Davey Douglas Waving says, watching the channel for only a month. You guys are brilliant. Dedication and Everton analysis is spot on. Great job, guys. Here's to a great Everton era. Thanks, Frankie. King Power 10 said, love watching both, but I'd say Arteta was better. Fair enough. Johnny Hodson says, I think Peanuts was killer down the left, was enhanced massively by Baines or whatever. And his Axl Rose impression beats both of us. And he also
But he is Axl Rose, that's why.
Okay, he said he wasn't in Terminator 2.
He was in the video. He was in the Deadpool. In the Deadpool.
Mangala or Cuco Martina. That's the worst signing, Cuco Martina. Arteta could do anything. Pinar could do with his eyes closed. He couldn't though, could he? He couldn't braid.
Can we just
stop? Hang on. First of all, he couldn't braid his hair, could he?
Can we just stop
so
this?
There you go.
Right,
Pinar was better, Jay.
Your opinion versus his. I love Pinar as well.
Who was better? Pinar, so there you go, so bye.
I've always said Pinar.
Carl H said, would like to see Gomez
but that doesn't mean his opinion is not wanted over on Patreon.
It's always wanted on Patreon. And on Patreon, I might even go, I might bend
It's
a
a
bit.
lot
I'm not
nicer on
bending here.
Patreon. It's a lot nicer. In fact, when we have our live shows on Patreon, there's a lot more to and fro. And when we do the phone-ins, when you can answer back, because we'll be doing phone-ins
That'd be
soon.
better because then
When we do our phone-ins on
me and
Patreon,
Jason could have a proper talk. Then.
I mean, look at
It's
this.
hard on this.
This hasn't dropped once. We're testing. We're getting it right for when we go on Patreon. The
Patreon
sound's
phone.
perfect. The internet's perfect. Everything's perfect. Jaffa cakes are good. So if you're on Patreon for £3 a month, which is worth every penny, you couldn't even get a coffee. You couldn't get. Can you get it? How much is Jaffa
Yeah, you can
cakes?
get Jaffa cakes.
Because someone sent us not just a box, a crate of Jaffa cakes. Sean sent us a crate of Jaffa cakes. I mean, I'm going to be
Sean's
27 stone by the time.
You're not just all right. But we don't eat anything else, man. Well, there you go. John O'Edward is watching from Cambodia and managed to catch the feed. Alcaraz was the worst for me. Alcaraz was a good footballer, but just forgot about defending. And Kaniki6 says, is it a coincidence that Z cards played by Watford is used because they're either the chairman or the manager of Watford at that time, like the Z cards tune, and wanted it for his Watford team?
I thought they were
That could
changing
be
it.
right, but apparently they changed it.
No, they did, but they changed it back.
Oh, have they? Oh, come over.
For all the luck it's brought them.
Okay.
Right, we're done. Have we done all the questions?
Jason couldn't handle Ped singing down the phone. Jay,
I won't sing on the phone.
I agree with you there, mate.
I wouldn't
am
sing on the
fully in agreement with
I
you.
wouldn't sing on the phone.
Are you sure?
What
What have you ever asked to sing on the phone?
What if I was asked to sing as Tyson Fury?
On the phone?
That's life! That's life!
You're singing it too loud. Go a little bit quieter. Cause
I can't. I literally can't. I can't lower my voice and lower it.
No, you do have volume control
part of-
issues. You do have
It's
volume.
part of me singing.
I mean, Alfie Boyle wants to know, Ped,
He wants to know stuff.
if you've had something over Abigail Raptor while your missus isn't being it.
No. I just like looking at the picture of her.
It fires them up. Are we ready to...
That's life!
That's what
That's
people
life!
say. That's what people
That's
say.
what all the people say while you're in Saudi Arabia.
You sound them less like him. I'll just leave it now. Christian Kiss has gone Brighton 1, Everton 2. I hope so. Kaniki says, good show, guys, as always.
Wasn't Kaniki in Greece?
Greece, yeah. Kaniki's boss, mate, in Greece. I mean, he's not.
Isn't he the one
he's not
isn't he the one who thinks he's got Rizzo up the
Rizzo
duff?
off the duff, yeah.
And he has. And Rizzo's about 47 and he's about
Actually plays
38.
17.
And she's about 38. And John Travolta's like, oh, Sandy! Oh, Sandy!
I mean, that's shocking.
I mean, it's not.
Travolta.
It's not.
That's
Travolta's-
absolutely horrific.
I couldn't do Travolta because he's got no hair. So I couldn't do an impression. It's more your hair.
Let's go. Thank you very much for joining us today. Those likes have gone to 138. Would have been lovely to get it to 150. Lazy people, but that's fine. Each to their own.
Sign up for Patreon instead.
But seriously, thanks for joining us, being good. And if you're a patron, we'll see you tomorrow. If you're on YouTube and you're not a patron, we'll see you next week. I mean, why? But
a whole week you're going to have to wait, whereas patrons won't get it tomorrow. And they also get, tonight, the match preview. And they also get the podcast on video tonight. That's happening all tonight. And the live show tomorrow. Why? Why wouldn't you be on Patreon?
Lee Dolman said that woman held Ped, that singing was horrific in my headphones. And Stephen Caldy said, if you think if he played the way we did against West Ham, we could beat Liverpool.
That's life.
I don't know.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Nick F says patron baby. Well in, Nick. And Alex Case called you Paddy Mercury, which is actually brilliant, Alex. And that's a great way to finish. Let's go. Oh yes, you're the great head tender. Let's go. Ooh,
what's your favourite Queen song or Freddie Mercury song before we go?
That I'm doing well. You're my best friend.
You're
classic.
My best friend. I like. Is this a kind of magic? It's a kind of. There can only be one, because it's from the Highlander soundtrack.
Yeah, he's a genius. There'll be no frontman ever like him. Right, stop it, you're killing people's ears. Thank you very much for joining.
It's a kind of. There can only be one. Bye, everybody. Hey, everybody.